President Donald Trump saying it is time to look for new leadership in Iran, calling for an end to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's 37-year-long rule. President Trump labeling Khamenei a sick man responsible for destroying the country through unprecedented violence and repression amid waning nationwide protests, as emphasizing leadership should be based on respect, not fear and death. I'm pleased to bring in our panel now, Senate Chairman of the National Iranian Congress, Amir Fakhravar. He's also the author of Comrade Ayatollah, Soviet KGB's Role in the Islamic Revolution and the Rise of Khamenei to Power in Iran. Also pleased to have retired U.S. Army Brigadier General Mark Kimmitt, the former Assistant Secretary of State for Political Military Affairs and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Middle East. Gentlemen, a pleasure to have you both. Welcome into Newsline. President Trump, very clear. We know it's been a reign of terror, the people oppressed. Even during comments in the last 3 years, we've seen Israel say we're not at war with the people of Iran. What happens now, obviously, is a bit up in the air as far as the U.S. I'll start with you, Brigadier General Kimmitt. We do know more assets are being positioned. And as of today, do you think that military options are definitely on the table or maybe just a posturing right now from President Trump?
Well, I think both. The term shouldn't be posturing, but positioning. It's clear that what the president would like to do is have the capability in the region if, in fact, he makes a decision to conduct military operations in Iran. One of the key issues that people seem to be missing when they suggest that he is posturing is the fact that not only do we need large numbers of forces to carry out the mission, but also a large number of forces to protect our friends and allies in the region if the Iranians respond in a heavy-handed way. So I think we really won't know the president's posture and the president's policy until those assets get in place, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, very strategic, and that is happening as we speak, as we're on the air. We've been watching, of course, the uprisings, and it is like a moment in time that many hope will bring regime change. And now the latest report is that the state TV hacked again, playing a message from the exiled crown prince. The entire message of Pahlavi was aired. I mean, this is incredible times that, you know, they try to black out the media, and yet it seems like they're losing at every turn.
Thank you, Bianca, for having me. But let me give you first, before going to talk about the Pahlavi situation, to give you some numbers, shocking numbers. The death toll has surpassed 30,000 protesters. 30,000 people have been killed by the order of Supreme Leader. More than 400,000 people have been shot during protests by the IRGC and its proxies. Means Hashd al-Shabi from Iraq, means Hezbollah from Lebanon, Fatimiyun Afghanistan, Zainabiyun Pakistan, Houthis Yemen. These are all, and Hamas from Palestine, from Gaza. These are all the proxies of IRGC. The IRGC regime invited them to come to the street and kill the people. More than 200,000 protesters have been deliberately shot in the eyes.
No, it's atrocities. And the numbers are all over. We're getting numbers from all different outlets, and they, you know, are reporting terrible atrocities. But with state media, again, being hacked last night, just your reaction to that, the fact that word is getting out, the protests are not going away, or are they being subdued? It's hard to tell.
We have the news because it's a blackout for last 12 days in Iran, the internet and phone blackout. And the protest is not there anymore because it's a bloodbath. Look at the numbers. But the case is, it's very important. This type of hack, it's just fantasy from some monarchist group outside of the country. They are trying to, with the AI, to create some news. That's not true. The reality is, this is not Reza Pahlavi's revolution. He attempted to hijack the revolution.
Understand. No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
With this regime
let's get to that next point. Yeah. understand. And some people don't want a monarchy. Let's get to that, Brigadier General. I mean, if we have regime change with President Trump says it is time, he is sick, Khamenei, the torture, everything that we're seeing there, where does the transition go? If this regime falls, what is the involvement potentially of the global community and the United States? Final thoughts.
Yeah, well, I certainly agree with Amir that Reza Pahlavi is not the answer. Not the answer for Iran and not the answer for the United States. We have seen bringing in expats in the past to regime change operations, and that is usually a bad choice. And let's not get fooled again, as the WHO said. We are not necessarily looking for regime change initially as much as we are looking for behavior change, very similar to what's happened in Venezuela. Let's not make the mistake we made in Iraq, which is to wipe out the administrative state, wipe out the security forces, and create a huge vacuum. Yes, the Grand Ayatollah has to leave. Yes, there has to be changes at the top. But let's leave in place an administrative and security structure that we can build upon.
I'd love to continue the conversation. That's right. Very far away from democracy, but the steps there are in progress, and it does sound like the question is what happens next with U.S. involvement. Brigadier General Mark Kimmitt, Amir Fakhravar, please come back. It's good to have you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.